Hi, it's Gene, retired in Mexico, and we ask one question on this channel, which is, do they write them and sing them like they used to? So a lot of people, young and old, they think or they say the old music is better, but I'm not so sure. And I love the 21st century and making a case for it here. So if you like what I'm doing, hit the like or subscribe button. It really helps the channel. And today I had a recommendation from one of my viewers called Honey Tunes. And she said, why don't you hit up the rest of the Julia Jacklin video? And I kind of wanted to do that. I was thinking about it already, and I thought, all right, I don't always finish these out. If you watch the other Julia Jacklin reaction, I was an instant fan. So let's go ahead and finish out this. We did the first two songs, and now I believe there's two more songs. And let's go ahead and finish watching Julia Jacklin's performance, not her most recent, but the one that she did before 3 years ago, KEXP. There's a lot of noise out here. I know it's middle of the workday, but my God, it's a beautiful day out here.
It's Julia Jacklin live on KEXP, songs from the new album Crushing, and that one, Head Alone. I can't stop listening to this record, and the lyrics resonate with me so much, especially on that song, Head Alone. But the songwriting, the instrumentation, amazing. But, oh, that voice, so wonderful.
Thank you.
Tell me a bit how you got started in music and, when you were first interested. Of course, you play, you sing, you write. How did that all evolve for you?
I think I probably have Doris Day to thank.
Doris Day.
My mum kind of used to play her all the time and watched all those movies she was in. And
Que sera, sera.
I think the first time I sung ever, I think out loud, was for a Doris Day birthday celebration on Australian National Radio.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was 6 and I sung Perhaps, Perhaps, Perhaps. A bit age inappropriate, but do
you remember how you felt? Were you just excited to be singing? Was the performance part of it for you?
I don't know. I just think I don't know. I think it took me a while to actually enjoy singing. Because then I did classical singing lessons for a long time, and that was cool. But it was also quite restrictive for a teenager, who wanted to rock out. So I don't think I kind of really started enjoying playing music until I was about 19 or 20, when I finally got over the nerves a little bit.
Did you think this was something that you'd make a career out of when you were younger?
No. But does anyone? That's what I always think. I'm like, I didn't know any musicians or anything. I didn't really know.
Hope you don't mind the interview.
I didn't really know what that would actually look like, so. But I'm pleased with the outcome.
Well, I also am very pleased with the outcome. And again, your lyrics really connect with me, and they sound a bit more direct on this record. Some of them are really raw. I know you're going to play Turn Me Down. That's a great example. I love Body as well. And you reference the body in the very first 5 songs of the record. And I understand from reading interviews that you weren't even conscious of that when you were writing the record. Can you talk a little bit about that and the themes that maybe were intentional and some that came out that were subconscious?
Yeah, I think the great thing about songwriting is that a lot of the time when you're doing it, you don't realize why you're doing it or what you're doing it for. It's funny, you do an album and then you do lots of press straight after the album before you even understand what it is you made in the first place. It's only now that I'm starting to really understand this record and why I made it and where it came from. And I think I was obviously feeling a lot more claustrophobic in my life than I had realized, and that kind of came out in a lot of the songs. And I wrote most of it in cars and green rooms and in sound checks for when I was on tour for the first album. So when I was definitely feeling, I don't know, just my first experience of touring for kind of 2 years straight.
Yeah, that's a lot of touring.
Yeah.
I bet you learned a lot along the way. What's kind of a takeaway for you that you take with you on this tour and moving forward?
The importance of saying no.
Very good to learn that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I think it's something that everybody learns, that, you know, you don't have to be there for everyone all the time. You can't, because you'll end up quitting. So just knowing how to, where to like set your priorities in terms of who you give time to.
But I imagine that's a balancing act, because you have to take care of yourself. You're the front person, you're the person people are coming out to see, but you're also the leader of this band, and you have to make sure everybody else is getting what they need, but also you will need people there to make sure you get what you need as well.
Yeah. Yes, it's a daily challenge, I have to say. I've learned a lot, but I'm still learning right now.
Tell me about the time in the studio. It sounds like this experience was a little bit different. Your last record was recorded in New Zealand, and this one in Sydney. And was it a different process, a different experience?
Yeah, it was super different. It was like, even environmentally, like New Zealand, it was super beautiful, and like blue skies and beautiful air, and yeah, it was just, we went to bed early, we woke up early, it was very healthy. Whereas this album was like in this real modern studio with like lots of fake leather couches and dark skies, and we stayed up late, and we recorded most of it at like, you know, between like midnight and 4 a.m. most of the time. So I think that had a huge impact on the record.
I bet it gave it a different vibe. That time of day can make a big difference.
Yeah, you know, and there's a lot of sad songs. That's a sad time of the day, I guess. A lonely time.
You're very engaged with your audience, and these are very intense songs. What do you want to bring to your live show, and how has it been so far playing these songs?
It's a long interview, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been really different than my first album, and quite intense, because there's a lot of people coming to the shows with a lot of feelings. But I don't know, I think just being a touring musician is just, it's bizarre, because you want to be able to connect every night, but that's also a lot of pressure to put on yourself. So I don't know, I'm still kind of figuring out how to do this show without it ever feeling like I'm a puppet, you know. But when you do it all the time, it's just a hard thing to get right. But I don't know, I try and just talk to the crowd as much as I can. Just try and like ground myself in whatever city I'm in.
It's nice to make that human connection.
Yeah.
I'm curious, since you have these two records and people are loving the new one, and you want to play it and they want to hear it, but they of course want to play the old songs that they know really well and with a little bit different tone and emotion, and you're feeling this new album, putting it out there, do you find that it's kind of challenging to create set lists from night to night that accomplishes both of those goals?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Like, I have no clue how bands that have been around for like 20 years do it. That like blows my mind. I've got 2 albums, and I'm like, every night I'm like, what do I do? I don't know. And it's, when you're doing a set list, and every little song is like a different feeling and a different point in your life and a different performance, and it can be a bit jarring to jump between. But I don't know, if your crowd is cool, which the crowds that are coming to my shows are pretty cool. They're nice people, and they seem just like they're kind of just willing to take whatever I give them, which was cool.
Well, your crowds do love you, and with just this second album, it was very eagerly anticipated, and shows have been selling out. How has that felt, you know, as opposed to a new album the first time around, when you don't know what's going to happen and you're building a new audience, and coming out with this new record and having this audience eagerly awaiting? How was that?
Yeah, it's very surreal. Yeah, but it's nice. It's very, I think I need to take a couple of weeks off so I can process something. I've been away for a while, so, but yeah.
And when you go home, where is that now? I know you're from the Sydney area, but I had heard you'd moved to Melbourne.
So the interview is much longer than I thought it was going to be. So what I'll probably do is upload 2 versions of this video, one with the interview and one without the interview, and let you guys choose which one you want to watch. So maybe we'll do that, okay? But I'm enjoying the interview.
And I was there a couple years ago. I loved it.
It's cool. It's a great city. I live there.
She's using air quotes. for
Yeah,
us in the radio world.
Like my car's there, and some of my friends are there. My soul is there, but I don't have a house or anything. But
What drew you there?
there's a lot of things I could say that would get me in trouble. So it's just, I lived in Sydney for 10 years and I gave it my all, and it was time to go. And I love Sydney. I love Australia. I don't want to leave Australia. So, Melbourne just seemed like the logical step, and it was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made.
Well, certainly a very supportive and thriving music scene there.
And a great music scene, yes.
You're listening to Julia Jacklin live here in the KEXP studios. Crushing is the beautiful new album, and you got a couple more songs?
Yes.
So I've not done a lyric dive into these
Okay.
songs, so I'm going to be
This
listening
one's
very
called
carefully.
Turn Me Down.
So this song is stylistically different than the other two.
Pulled off the highway, found a place to sit. He took my hand, said, "I see a bright future. I'm just not sure that you're in it." It's a lot to ask of me, to believe in you, and I don't know if you'll ever love me the way I want you to. So please just
Hmm.
turn me down.
Hmm.
I want you. Turn me down. Oh, please just
like two different songs.
Turn me down. Why won't you turn me down? Why won't you turn me down? Why won't you turn me down?
Wow. So there were some lyrics I missed on that. So let's do a quick lyric dive into this. So let's see here. And we can read this right above my picture. Okay, see, I didn't get the early part. Learner driver going 80 Ks, 80 kilometers per hour, I guess. So that's about 55 miles an hour. Trying to get to Melbourne. It's probably going to take 2 days. Yeah, Australia's a big country. Or, I'm sorry, excuse me, a big continent, a big nation. Lover beside you, gripping the door. Oh, you know why he is nervous. It's a lot to ask of you to believe in me. Yeah, that's true. When I can't even promise I'd do things differently next time. Wow, that's a really good line. Let's repeat that. It's a lot to ask of you to believe in me when I can't even promise I'll do things differently next time. Yeah, to believe in somebody unpredictable. Pulled off the highway, found a place to sit. He took my hand, said, I see a bright future. I'm just not sure that you're in it. It's a lot. Okay, so she repeats that. Well, no, not quite. It's a lot to ask of me to believe in you when I don't even know if you'll ever love me the way I want you to. So please just turn me down. And she repeats that line over and over. And then says, don't look at me, look at the center line. Maybe I'll see you in a supermarket sometime. Yeah, don't look at me, look at the highway. Wow. So what I like about this, you know, talking about lyrics, we've done a lot of songs on the channel and a lot of, you know, decent lyrics, but this idea that that why don't you turn me down, that's not what I expected when I read the title. Turn me down just sounds like somebody turned her down, but she's asking for that person, why don't you turn me down, instead of, you know, pursuing this potential relationship. So that's a very nice twist, very well done. I'm going to pause the video, feed my cat because he's making a bunch of racket, and I will come right back and we'll finish the video. Thanks. Okay, so thanks for letting me feed my cat, and also I did a lyric dive into this next song called Pressure to Party, so that I could be a little more prepared for it this time. So let's go ahead and play this.
Don't look at me. Look at the sunlight. Maybe I'll see you in a supermarket sometime.
this song is stylistically different than the other 3 songs. It's nice. Touch of country.
Whew. Take a big breath after that one. That one goes right to the gut.
That was not
That's
pressure to
Julia
party.
Jacklin with Turn Me Down from the new album Crushing.
Okay.
Thank you for doing that. I
Yeah.
imagine that takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did we end? I
Okay.
guess we ended the
Well,
first song too soon.
so-
Sorry about that. We're going live.
Last song.
So this will be pressure to party.
Guys? Great.
I wondered why I couldn't follow the lyrics.
Okay. It's called Pressure to Party.
It's first time, guys. First time. Never heard the song. Okay. Totally different.
Pressure to party, gonna stay in. Nothing good can come from me drinking. I would on shoes, I'll straight back to you. I know where you live, I used to live there too. Pressure to feel fine after the fact. Out on the dance floor with my body back. Meeting a stranger, touching his face. I don't want anyone to ever take your place. Pressure to go strike out on your own. Pressure to learn from being alone. Pressure to not leave it for too long before you find another heart where you belong.
Nice, Phil.
Pressure to come up with conversation that makes the family fine with my isolation. I know I've locked myself in my room, but I'll open up the door and try to love again soon. 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 Pressure to act the right way around him. We're both in a crowd, people surrounding us. What do I do? Don't know how it works. Pressure to not let the inside of my mind spill onto the floor for our friends to find it. Oh, what do I do? It's got how it hurts. Oh, pressure to come up with reasons why sometimes it might look to you like I'm not even trying. I know I've locked myself in my room, but I'll open up the door and try to love again soon. Try to love again soon. Try to love again soon. Try to love again soon.
So she's got a lot of cracking in her voice on this song, and then the man doing the harmony vocal. It's so tight. Oh. Very nice. Not too long of a song. Just rock it out.
Sure you're not going to go into another one there? Julia Jacklin live on KEXP, the new album Crushing. I love how you look at heartbreak from a slightly different angle than we're used to hearing. Such a great record.
Thank you.
One of my faves of the year. Thanks to all of you for coming in today. It sounds fantastic. Julia Jacklin live on KEXP Seattle.
Okay, so we'll do a little bit of we'll do a little bit of a lyric dive into this. I brought up the lyrics, moved me over. I want to see if on these annotations here, let's see what it says first. It says that, let me make myself a little smaller here. Pressure to party, Julia Jacklin rails against the societal convention and expectations of how we should feel after a failed relationship. A lot of noise here, sorry guys. The song was released along with a music video shot in one take. Oh, interesting. With special appearances from pop rock band Body Type. So anyway, I want to see if these annotations, pressure to party, gonna stay in. Of course, she's a musician, so her pressure to party, if she's speaking autobiographically, is going to be even stronger. Nothing good can come from me drinking. She didn't say nothing good can come from drinking. She said nothing good can come from me drinking. See, I like that little detail. I would run shoes off straight back to you. I know where you live. I used to live there too. You know, I'm wondering if, you know, shoes off, there's that old thing about keeping women barefoot and pregnant. I wonder if she's making an allusion to that at all. Let's see here. Jacklin associates drinking with returning to unhealthy patterns. Despite breaking up with this person, she would run right back to them barefoot, regardless of knowing how bad they were for her. So, you know, I think she might be making an allusion to that she's willing to be barefoot, which is, you know, just an interesting line. I know where you live. I used to live there too. She spent a lot of time at her ex's place, either having lived with that person or spending so much time there that she essentially lived there. Yeah, that's nice. Pressure to feel fine after the fact, out on the dance floor with my body back, meeting a stranger, touching his face. I don't want anyone to ever take your place. Let's see here. Autonomy over body is a consistent theme throughout Crushing. Yeah, we heard that on Learning to Live Without You. The first track is entitled Body. Okay, so they talked about that. Yeah, or I don't know how to keep loving you, sorry. So sure enough, they refer back to that. And meeting a stranger. After a breakup, it's hard not to compare every sexual romantic encounter to your ex for a while. And there can also be guilt with moving on and feeling that you are replacing them with someone else. So we'll continue with these lyrics. Pressure to go strike out on your own. Pressure to learn from being alone. Pressure to not leave it for too long before you find another heart where you belong. I don't think we need to annotate that line. So on the chorus, pressure to come up with conversation makes the family fine with my isolation. I know I've locked myself in my room, but I'll open up the door and try to love again soon. Try to love again soon. What I like about that too is, when is soon, right? Soon tomorrow, or is it next year? Jacklin uses anaphora, I actually don't know that word, to emphasize the journey towards recovery that she's going on. She feels the need to consistently diminish the pressure of other people in her emotional romantic affairs. Okay, so then she sings I. So the second verse, pressure to act the right way around him. We're both in a crowd with people surrounding us. So she's broken up with this guy and they're in the same room at some party. What do? I don't know how it works. I love that line, because if we're really honest, right, people pretend like they know stuff. But how to act societally, if that's a word, in a social situation there where you don't really know what the rules are. I like that she's just being flat out honest there. Pressure to not let the inside of my mind spill onto the floor for our friends to find it. Yes, you know, people are reading you. And you got these thoughts inside. Can you keep them inside, or are they going to display themselves in a public forum? It's really an awesome lyric. Oh, what to do, 'cause God, how it hurts. So she's trying not to show her hurt in public. See, this is just honest. I like this. This is really what goes on in people's minds. Pressure to come up with reasons why. Sometimes it might look to you like I'm not even trying. I know I've locked myself in my room, but I'll open up the door and try to love again soon. Try to love again soon. Yeah, awesome lyrics. She's just speaking from her interior, and these are not lyrics for show. These are straight from the heart. straight from her mind, and I like it. Awesome lyrics. So thanks for joining me here on the channel. Each one of those 4 songs was different that we hit up. That last one being rock and roll, not too long, probably about a 3-minute song, and just belting it out, and nice drum fills, good rhythm section. I really like the variety. You know, there's a lyrical continuity, but the musical styles are all different. And like I say, her voice cracked a lot on this song, and there was a little bit of country western in the lead guitarist, but she was just doing rhythm, and it wasn't a country western song, but had just touches with her vocals and the guitar. So I like that she can pull in another style and make it just a color in the music, if you will. So Julia Jacklin, great. These 4 songs are wonderful. I can see already that when I get to this year, which I think was 2019, that Crushing is probably going to be one of my favorite albums of the year. So I'm looking forward to listening to the studio version of that. Thanks for joining me. Like I say, we'll probably do a short version and a long version of this video, upload them both. You can watch whichever you want. If you're watching this one where you've hung out with me, thank you. And Honey Tunes, thanks for suggesting this. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. And as we say here in beautiful Mexico, buen dia.